Hello, hello, hello. Right, I think we are live. So today, joining you guys, obviously live from Mexico to support you in your Amazon businesses. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to double check my audio. Yeah, that's coming through fine. Actually, I'm just going to change that 1 second. Doesn't want to change it. 2 seconds. Okay, cool. So I'm in just hearing on the mic here, so might be a little bit different. But if you guys are here, do let me know. Drop questions down below. Obviously, I'll get them answered. I'm just going to do my cuffs. It's a little bit early in the morning. You can see beautiful sunrise. I do love that sunrise. But obviously here today, any concerns about Amazon, anything you've got worries about, just let me know. And obviously, I'll give you my thoughts. I don't know the exact answers, but I'll certainly obviously share with you what my thoughts are and the way it works, and obviously hopefully I can give you some good pointers in the right direction. So that is good. My phone is deciding to, when like Siri or Google Translate comes on, it's like 1 second. It just talks about like, hey, like, are you here? So super annoying. So obviously, if you are here, do let me know. Do drop a quick hello down below. Obviously, I'm very interested. And obviously, you know that. So do let me know. I'm just going to check my audio. My headsets don't seem to be working. So give me 2 seconds. I'm guessing you guys can hear me. Yeah, that's all working now. Fine, that's moved over. Okay, so definitely not live view. Don't want that StreamYard there. We do use StreamYard, really good. So we're going to jump into some comments. Guys, if you want to ask me any questions, feel free. I'll jump into the comments straight away because I want to just help you guys out. We had our best week ever. Ever. Yeah, kind of like maybe best week ever for spend last week, but also as well our best week ever, or second best week for revenue. And we didn't crash the prices. We did do really well. I think we did like 67 in revenue in 1 week, and then we spent 74. Yeah, we spent 74. We spent more money last week than we actually made in revenue, which is incredible. So Q4 is definitely on its way. Sales are happening, and the team are out there buying. So please, honestly, there is opportunity out there. So let's kind of jump through some questions and go from there. If you are here, do let me know. So, Cozy, so excited for this. Really want to hear advice on contacting brands as a newbie and what to say and how to say it. I feel like it's so obvious experience. It bugs me. Great question, Justin. Thank you so much. I think the biggest thing I'd really just think about is, do not go into this thinking this is going to be one, like you contact a brand, you say the things and it's going to work. It isn't. It's a volume game. And, if I'm going to put it out there, let's call it, you need to contact a minimum 200 wholesalers. You should be looking for like 10 a day minimum, some manufacturers, 10 a day minimum, and then you might get like 1. And the reason is not to say that that's the normal ratio. It might be less than that, but you're just getting started. You're just learning. It's just numbers. I already see there's a couple of sellers on here who have relationships with different brands, and they might be distributors, wholesalers, or even brands themselves, manufacturers, and they will attest to the fact that it's just got to practice. So I don't really do much wholesale, but I've certainly done it before in the past, and I've spoken to many brands before and had conversations with them. Sometimes we've never got them on like exclusive, but we've also been able to sell them, and I've sold a lot of different brands. So long story short, it's a numbers game, numbers. And really, my top tip is you've got to be like, why should they work with you? Like, people just don't care. It's got to be like, hey, we've got this product, we think we can add value to it. We want to know if we get trade terms behind it. Can we get bulk purchasing? We're looking to buy X amount of this unit. Can we do it? That's going to be really important. So I think for you is numbers game first. Do the massive volume, and then it's contact. If you're just doing like brands direct, you've got to be like, what's the value proposition for them? So if it's like maybe a product which isn't on Amazon, you can introduce it to Amazon. If they're on Amazon already, then the listings are bad. Like, you can talk about that. Obviously, brands are going to want to know where you're selling and why you want them. So I'd really recommend, contact them, say that you found this product, maybe you're selling the product already. I'd probably look to sell the product already, like we're selling through authorized wholesale distribution. We now want to come to you. We want to buy a bigger bulk, and also as well, we want to improve your product listing on Amazon. And the other thing which I'll probably say is like, don't look at just the listing itself. Give them where they could be. Find another listing which is from another brand and say, we think we can take you here. Show it, prove it. You're probably quite new, so I really recommend like make sure you got some at least like 50 reviews on your seller account. Otherwise, you just look a bit too new. But maybe even take like one of the wholesale listings already, or the listings ready that you're buying through wholesale, and improve. So I hope that helps. I know I haven't literally said like how I want to do. I really recommend Watch Me Amazon and Amazon Lit. They're really, really good. So I hope that helps. So let's kind of jump through some other questions. Harmenta said, morning, Tom. Morning. Obviously, great to see you. Look at that beautiful view. Absolutely love it. It's an early day today. I was in Florida last week. Very nice as well. Coffee, need it. I've got a really bad throat. I was on the plane and I was coughing like there's no tomorrow. And I think the lady next to me thought she was going to die of COVID. But I had a test. I didn't, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, morning. Massive action, Mr. Sean Gilbert. Hi. Watching live in the garden. Nice weather in the UK. About 8,000. I guess that's 8,000 units in Amazon now. Obviously, the things. I don't know how many I've got in at all. Sean, I've definitely seen your restock limits really high. You're hitting over 20,000 now, which is available, which is fantastic. Like really, really well done. So doing something right there, and also Amazon offered you a loan as well. I saw that on your thing. So super impressive. And hey, enjoy the garden. My God, we're always like hustle, hustle, hustle. Sometimes just take a moment to enjoy life. Definitely, completely agree. Enjoy the nice weather. And I heard it's like it's an Indian heat wave coming through. So really, really nice. So you've got Islamic Uploads. Hello, good to hear you. And obviously you're saying you're watching the UK. Fantastic. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Obviously I am here. So Facebook user came back and said, I joined Amaware Prep and they took 2 weeks to ship out products. And did you have the same experience? Maybe because it was my first shipment with them. No, not at all. It was still the same. Still fine. Like no issue there. Yeah. No issue with them uploading or shipping. They might not be like ship it today, send it. Sometimes it's about getting that right. But there was no problem with them. We've not had my team haven't come back to me and said problems, and we're still shipping out on volume. So that's what we're quite happy with. So I mean, what did my team spend last week? Not the volume, but it spent 10K last week on stock, and that's going through there. So pretty happy with them. The big thing is just make sure the communication's there. If the communication breaks down with any prep center, that's a problem. So make sure you see how it goes and just manage the what do you call it? Yeah, so make sure you get the shipment sent out. Communication is super key with any prep center. And also have a conversation with them. Give them a call. Send them an email. Hey guys, it did take a while to ship out. I'm just interested to understand why. Is there anything I can do to improve? Don't be assumptive that they're the problem. It could be you. And do always go into this now. We want to. I want to get better as well. So ask that question. I think it's really good. I think Kat is the lady who runs it. Is the customer service lady. I've spoken to her in the past, not now. So ask the question. Remember, this is a partner in your business relationship. It isn't about they're wrong, I'm right. It's about, hey, how can we together get better? And your aim is, hey guys, it's 2 weeks. How can we together improve that? 2 weeks, it seemed quite a long time. Was there anything we could do to improve? So ask the question, find out. So guys, if you've got questions, do drop them down below. Obviously, really, really happy. So I will kind of fire through them. This is the time that I allocate really to you guys to just try and share my thoughts or answer any questions you may have. I appreciate a lot of my content is very much me talking to you. This is hopefully me listening and giving you my thoughts so I can help out in your businesses. So 2 seconds. So Islamic Uploads. Can I buy something from the US and resell in the UK, or do I need permission to resell? You can do it. You don't necessarily need permission. One thing you need to be very careful of is what's known as, there's a big thing going around right now, people buying from iHerb and shipping it over to the UK because they'll ship for you. And then you get what's known as parallel import IP complaints, which are quite serious. You can't really do much about it because you are technically importing and you shouldn't be. Those brands don't allow those products from America to be imported into the UK or vice versa. So that's something really interesting. So long story short is you can do it, and a lot of people do it, but if you're wondering, then generally I'd probably avoid it. there's enough opportunity in the UK to buy in the UK, sell in the UK, and buy in the US and sell in the US. Like, I wouldn't worry about that. If you are going to do that importing, look at the EU into the UK. That's another option. I think that'll probably work a bit better. So I hope that helps. Okay, cool. So jump through. Harminder has mentioned, hi Tom, how much inventory do you replenish? I've answered this one before, but I will answer it again. Not today, I haven't answered it, but I do talk about it a lot. First of all, define what a replenishable is. And I think it's a great question. I'm probably going to ask, let me put it on my little notepad. Let me put it on my notepad of replenishables, because I know the stats. What is a replenishable? So, the question is in my eyes, a replenishable is any product or any ASIN that I've purchased more than once in a 1 year period. So I might buy it in February and then buy it again in October. That'd be replenishable. The October, when I've purchased it, then replace ASIN, not a supplier URL, for example. So because it's ASIN, but because of that, to give you an idea, last week we probably average around at 80%. Last week we did 88%, which is our highest ever. And we had a massive, we did really, really well in sales. So we're testing some new things. If they work out, we might share them with you guys. But obviously, we're looking to smash Q4. So 88% we got replenished yesterday's. Last week, normally it's like 78 to 80%. That's what we're doing. So that's kind of like whatever is replenishable and the percentage we're doing. Normally, it'll hover around about 75, 80%. You look at my stats across the last 2 quarters, always that very consistently, very, very consistently. So let's kind of jump on Meet Patel. I'm doing Amazon wholesale for a year now, but I'm doing good. I just wanted to ask, how long can we keep on doing the business? I mean, how long the wholesale model will be alive? Great question. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know the answer. Let me put it this way: what is wholesale? What's OA? What's you could even say private label, but it's slightly different. Wholesale, OA, they're basically you take a product from a supplier and then you sell it to the consumer. You're buying cheap, selling high. That's another word for that. It's just called trade. Trade. That's all you're doing. And trade's been around longer than money itself, and I generally believe, I have no reason to believe that trade won't be around in the future. Now, it might be the case that you're selling different products, maybe even digital, even NFTs, I hate to say it. But the idea is you're buying low, selling high when you understand there's a market need. You're filling a need, fulfilling the requirement. How long will it be around? I don't know. How long will Amazon be around? I don't know. But even if Amazon were to die tomorrow, will the model still exist? Yeah, you can do wholesale onto eBay. I don't deny that. And that's why I really like OA, because it's super simple to get into, but also I genuinely believe it's going to be around for the whole of my lifetime at least. I have no question about that. I don't think it's going to disappear. And people will be like, oh, how long is it going to be around? There are more people making more money now on Amazon than there have ever been. Why? Because Amazon's bigger than it's ever been. So don't worry, keep going, smash it. We're going to look at open Germany next year. We've just opened up Amazon UK and US. We've got UK and US, and we'll do Germany next year. We're expanding. We think it's going to be amazing, and we'll get into wholesale as well next year. So my God, you started before me. Hashtag jealous. No, not at all. But hey, I think it'll keep going. So keep doing it. It'll be fine. So Islamic uploads. How do you deal with returns and losses from returns that you can't sell anymore? Exactly what you just said. Either we have an arrangement with our prep center to sell them on eBay, and if they can't sell them, we just destroy them. That's it. We destroy them. We don't really care. And that's it, because at the end of the day, it's just part of doing business. If you've got 100 products and you've got one that something's gone wrong, something can't sell, you're like, well, I made all the money on the other 99. I'm just going to cover the cost of the 100, the one, and then overall, I look at my profit overall, not just I made X amount from the 99 and then I had a cost from this one. Not at all. It's a portfolio of products. It's just the nature of doing business. That's it. How do you deal with returns? You inspect them, see if you can ship them back in, test them. If you can't, no problem. Get them sold somewhere else. There are some services out there that will do it. And then finally, after that, is if you can't sell them anymore, destroy them. That's it. Move on. Give them to charity. Well, it's just waste, really, isn't it? So recycle them. But yeah, that's it. It's just part of the process. So Doug has come on and said, do you insert anything with your products like QR codes to encourage you? No, we don't, Doug. We don't. We just do, oh my God. We do OA. So if you're talking about private label branding, we don't do that. But the one thing we do is you can do it, sell a toolkit. Sell a toolkit. Oh my God, get it right, Tom. Sell a board. They have the option to send out an email after every order, and we've used that in the past, and we are going to use it for the US soon. And on that email it says, please review your purchase. And instead of, click here, instead of giving them a review link to the product, it reviews to our seller page. So that's what we're looking for. So like, we don't put anything in the product, but we do send out an email using seller board, because it's free and it gives the seller page, and it's online arbitrage sellers. We don't really care about the product, we care about us as sellers. And that's it, that's what we do. And it works fine. And we've had great success with it. So I think the UK right now is like 99%, and the US is like 100%. So no problems. And we use it just to ramp up the number of reviews. So check out seller board like that. So guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down below, or any comments, let me know. I will share obviously a bit about our business, but if there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know down below. Maybe just let me know where you're calling from. That's really good. And hey, obviously what I will say is, if you are liking the video today, give a thumbs up. I always love a good thumbs up. So Harminder has come back. I'm not sure if you remember, Tom, but Amazon offered us a new loan during your last week's live stream. Woohoo! They offered us 10 times more than previous. Woohoo! We took the loan, but struggling to spend it. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm guessing the loan term would be over not just like 2 weeks, it'd be over like, let's say 9 months, 12 months. And for you, the question is again, obviously before you take it, you should obviously understand that you should be able to utilize it. It doesn't mean you need to be able to spend it all today. Spending today isn't the answer. Like with our 1,300, 130,000, we did 121, and we did 130,000 loan. We couldn't spend it, and we still haven't spent it all yet. But what we are doing is we are getting better at spending it. So that's something that's super important. So for you is, don't worry about not being able to struggle to spend it now. Just start putting things in place that can help you. So that might be like, okay, I'm going to hire another VA, for example. Maybe I'm going to get on the lead services. Maybe I'm going to get into like doing something else. Just make sure that you get to the point where you can spend it. That's the important thing. It doesn't really matter if you can't spend it today. Don't worry about that. Like keeping it in bank for a month, 2 months, a portion of it, absolutely fine, because Q4 is coming, and the question you might ask is like, let's say for example they've given you 20k and you only ever spend 15,000 of it. You leave always 5 in the bank. You might think that's wasted. Well, no, my God, you've just been able to use 15k. Like you wouldn't have been able to use that 15k before. So that 15k is going to be more money, and that's probably way covered the cost of the interest. So don't worry, like really don't worry. Just get yourself into a position now, start doing some strategic planning, whereby you will be thinking in a month, 2 months, 3 months time, I will be able to start spending it all. For us, we hired 3 extra VAs, and we had our biggest week ever, which is 7. I hate to do this. I think it's about 74 last week in spend. It was insane, absolutely insane. £74,000. So really good. Doug has mentioned, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you. I am feeling slightly better, but still takes time. The lady on the aeroplane is probably getting a shock. She's like, he's got COVID. I haven't, trust me. But that was when I went to Florida. It's fine. But I'm vaccinated now, so not a problem. So, Facebook user, okay, thank you, man. Really excited. Our product should go to the same main fulfillment center in Pennsylvania. How long is checking time experience? Oh, I could not tell you that one. I really could not tell you that one. You've just got to track it. And if this is your first time, never take the first one. Always just do a couple at least. So 2 things. How long it takes from UPS to get from the warehouse to Amazon, and then number 2, how long Amazon takes to check it in. So this is just welcome to logistics, fulfillment logistics. So this takes time. Do not worry. It does happen. That's going to be something which is super interesting, but also for you to track. And we track it kind of like we have certain metrics we look at, but you can just look at like shipment times and see when it was shipped, created, and then shipped, and then obviously checked in. So that's going to be helpful. But for you, I don't know. I really don't know. I think we budget 2 weeks. We budget 2 weeks from the moment we say go prep center, and then for it to actually go live. Just because the US is big, things take time. There are problems. So see how it goes. Honestly, track it, and do a couple before you start making a firm estimation. Just be like, here's where I think it's at the moment. So Doug has mentioned I use Sellerboard. Thanks for that advice. Fantastic. I'm glad that is grateful. My God. Ambreen said, hi, I love my around 5,000 testing products. Hi, love. Okay, hi, love. Around 5,000 testing products are not selling. What should I do to get my money back? How can I open a case to tell Amazon to please give me the buy box? I'm not a private label seller, and you're doing private label branding. I really recommend getting into like a private label group, asking the question. That's going to be super important, because we always sell on listings which already have sales velocity, so they'll sell. And even if you have the buy box on, it sounds like you're doing private label. Maybe not if you're doing wholesale, because 5,000 is quite a lot, and you're testing. Should we say 5,000? Well, I wouldn't test 5,000 wholesale. It sounds like private label. So I get into a private label group, and then odds on they're probably going to tell you you're going to have to do things like PPC just to get the sales through. So I hate to say it, but it might mean that you have to spend more money to get the money back you've already invested. So it might mean you take a loss, which is really common. I've spoken to a lot of private label sellers, and launching a product now is super tough. Hey, even doing like OA wholesale, it's still a business. It's not easy. This game is hard. As much as maybe my YouTube make it look easy, and other people's YouTube make it look easy, doesn't mean it is. So that's, I'd just say get into a private label, ask the questions there, or even if it's wholesale, like you bought a branded product that it's like a Lego, for example, drop it in the Facebook groups. I'm not sure if I can really help you, but it might be the case that you say give me the buy box, but I question if it's even selling. Amazon won't care. You just got to drop your price if you want the buy box, if that's what you're really looking for on a listing which already has sales velocity, i.e. sales rank. So I hope that helps, Ambreen. Let me know in the comments down below. P-Ray, smash that limited. I know, I just sound really bad. Oh my God, I hate it. Wait up. I'm like, lemon slip with lots of coffee. Probably bad. Let me know if coffee's bad for colds. But hey, we get there. Stress of working too much. Not at all. We're having record months. I'm really happy. So Doug has mentioned, I've heard a lot of advice for holding stock back or fulfill by merchant if sending in stock bar beyond this week for Q4. This is my first Q4 and I don't have a prep center. Would you advise I hold sending back stock? No. Like, again, it depends on your model, what you're trying to do. At the end of the day, like I live in Mexico. I couldn't do fulfillment by merchant. We could go work in a prep center or work with a prep center who can do fulfillment by merchant, but we might do that whereby, look, the advantage of doing fulfillment by merchant is you buy something today, it arrives in your warehouse, and then you're doing fulfillment by merchant and you're shipping it directly to the customer. You're avoiding the whole Amazon logistics train, which slows it down. Now, there are going to be certain products in your inventory which will really benefit from that. Why? Because right now, it might be the product's just kind of discounted, or you just got it in stock, and then as a result, no one's on the Amazon listing yet, or like very few. The price is like super high, so you can come in, undercut the price, get the buy box, fulfill with the merchant, and then sell them before you've even other people even ship them into Amazon. Like that works absolutely fine. But just be mindful of the fact that you have to accept the orders, get them picked and packed, and then obviously shipped to or put in the logistics train, to like Royal Mail, UPS, or whatever, going to the customer, or the American Mail. So you have to do that logistics, and there are a lot of people, and Sean Gilbert's one of them, who do that, and it works really well for them. But they are set up for it, and you can make good money like it. You really can. But again, you've just got to be ready for it. So a really good example would be, let's say, for example, there's a brand new advent calendar that's just being released. Well, there's an advent calendar which is selling, and then all of a sudden it becomes, it's going for like, I don't know, $50, and then with a one day it's on sale, it's now going for $10. in the retail stores, not Amazon. So you can buy it and then you can merchant fulfill it for $40, which is below the market price. And then people buy that and then you can ship it straight. But if you were to wait and put it into the fulfilled by Amazon, by the time it got into Amazon's, everyone else would, and as a result, the price would have probably come down to $30. So that works. Fulfilled by merchant really works that way, and you make good money that way. But personally, for me, I just like to keep it simple, and like it's up to you. I have to take a little bit less margin and a bit longer lead times but I get to travel the world and be in beautiful Mexico City. Cool, yeah, I'll do that. Like, I'm not doing it for my merchant. Hell no. Again, pick your battles. Choose. People who've got warehouses, they can do it even from home. They can. Just be mindful. You've got to be the one shipping it. That's and also as well, if something goes wrong, like if you're doing high ticket items, or maybe like the customer says it hasn't been delivered, it's on your head. There is no like, oh, Amazon delivered this, remove the review. Not at all. This is your problem. Like if there's late delivery, anything like that, HGV problems in the UK, then that could come back and bite you. Whereas if it's Amazon doing fulfillment, doesn't matter. It's not your problem. You can get that striked out of your feedback. So I hope that makes sense, Doug. Let me know in the comments down below. So Harminder said, with all the problems here with the shortage of lorry drivers, stores are not having products. Are you doing anything different? Do you know what? Okay, so I hate to say it, I'm sorry. In the UK, I read Daily Mail. I know it's awful, and I keep up to date with like petrol, HGV, problems, and now like bus drivers are leaving buses to become HGV drivers. I do kind of keep update because obviously from the logistics side we have it. Now, I've also seen, Emma Louise Hamilton in the Amazon Dream Group. She posted how she's seeing more and more suppliers are saying, "Sorry, you can't buy this. You can't buy this." So what was I expecting to see? So I'm expecting to see logistics problems. I'm expecting to see stock problems with suppliers. I'm expecting to see lots of orders cancelled from our orders. And what I'm also expecting to see, the net result is that weekly stock purchases go down because we are struggling to find deals that we can buy. There are deals that we're trying to buy, but they go down. Now I'm expecting to see that. Now, what am I actually seeing? Well, I'm actually seeing that my team have had the best week ever. We spent £74,000 last week on stock. Like, I asked them very directly last night. I was like, "Are you not hearing problems?" And they were like, "No, we're fine." So they are existing, but I don't think they're as bad as maybe it's made out to be. There are problems. Like, I'm definitely hearing about that, but we're not experiencing it. And I don't think buying 100K worth of stock a week nearly, we would probably expect to see an impact on that, and we haven't. So I don't know. We're not really seeing a problem. And are we doing anything different with our prices? Not really, because we're still able to get supply. When supply starts going down, then we'll probably change that pricing strategy. But we're buying more stock now than we ever have. If anything, we're like, let's get it sold again, churn it, take the money. So I hope that makes help. And Harminder, let me know in the comments down below. So P-Race has asked me, what advice would you give to a single individual looking to scale a business? SKUs from 1 to 5. I think generally at a fundamental level, the way this business works, if you want to know, is that, and I hate to say it, is because of the way the buy box works, we are at the mercy of the market. So there's an old saying, you make your money when you buy, you don't make it when you sell. So you got to buy at the right price. So what does that mean? It's like, well, buy at a great price, and then it gets sold at whatever the market dictates that, because there's buy box sellers, etc., etc. Now you can hold and wait, that's not a problem. But the one metric I really advise, my team, and we still do it to this day, it's the biggest thing I'm always looking at, and I shout and scream about that tomorrow, is called spend all the money. Spend all the money. And I hate to say, even if you're getting like 10% ROI, which I don't recommend doing if you're like just starting out, but 10% ROI is better than 0% ROI with money sat in the bank doing nothing. So spend all the money, buy the deals, and then do it. Now, I'm probably directly responsible for price tanking in the UK because of that mantra, but I do just think spend all the money, and now that will help you grow. Again, spread your risk, multiple SKUs, not a problem. Again, I say this because I have an outsourced team, and I have like maybe 11 staff. So when I say do this. It doesn't really mean any more work for me. I also use the prep center, it just means more work for them, and we factor in that cost into it. So it doesn't really add too much logistics, and everything's accounted for. So spend all the money. That's why I always preach about spend. That's one metric I always look at. It's not so much spend all the money. I always look at how much we spend, but then I do look at how much money we spent and how much we've got spare. And I'm like, please, if I have no money left at the end of the week, I'm super happy. Last week, my purchasing team spent £48,277 on one credit card, and we had a limit of 48,000. I was like, yes, they spent more money. So I was super happy with that. So and they spent more than we were allowed to spend. So really, really happy with that. But spend all the money. That's it. And there's loads of other benefits. Cashback, you get lots of cashback. Also, you get Avios points. I just managed to book 2 first-class tickets. A first-class return ticket from Mexico City to London for £600 plus Avios, and we make 100,000 Avios a month. Sorry. So yeah, fine. Spend all the money. Makes a big difference. That'd be my advice. Where's Dakota? Okay. Has your approach changed in regards to the crazy shipping charges delayed from China? We don't do private label. So we're not affected. I say we're not affected. Everything's affected. We don't directly buy from China. We buy from the UK. We buy UK or US. We buy from local markets and resell on local markets. We do both the UK and the US. We buy from Walmart effectively. Has it changed? No, but I don't. I definitely know a lot of other sellers, and I know even suppliers who own some shops and stores. They have stopped buying some products to do. I've even heard reports of people chartering their own ships to get stuff done. These are like multinational companies because they need to get it shipped. It has had an effect, and I think we'll see that into Q4. So the super low margin, high volume might be a bit more questionable now because you can't do as much. But for me, no change in the shipping. I hope that helps. Guys, I'm going to kind of go through the questions. If you've got any, let me know down below. I promise you I will get through them all, even if I have to go fast. So just received, Chris Fern, I just received a message from a buyer saying his listing is misleading because it says 12 pack of tea bags. It's actually one box of 25. I missed this. What would you do now? I've not actually sold any yet. If you're on the wrong listing, get the product sent back, ship them back in again on the correct listing. It happens to all of us. I know it's an absolute pain. I know you're worried about it. Like, man, I just spent all this time shipping it in. Now if I return them, ship them back again, it's a pain. You're like, Amazon rules are very clear. You have to sell exactly what is on the listing. If you try and sell anything other than on the listing, you will get warnings, and that will cause eventually your account to be shut down. Long story short, don't risk it. It's not worth it. You could be making some very, very good money. So, in a year's time, don't ruin it for what is 12 tea bags today to not have the opportunity to be earning, 100K a year selling on Amazon. And I'm not saying it's going to be a year's time. It takes longer than that. But you could do that very, very easily. Just don't do that over some tea bags. It's a great opportunity. But Amazon do not let you open up another account if you've lost one. It's super bad. So just don't risk it. Just return the tea bags, get them shipped in the right one, and get it fixed. Say to the customer, super sorry, thanks for letting me know. Move on. That's it. Welcome to business. Welcome to life. We make mistakes. We take them on the chin. We move on. So hopefully that makes sense. Chris, let me know in the comments down below. My God, Ambreen has come back in. I'm doing wholesale. My 4 testing products are not having sales for many months. Wow, and I cannot drop price because of brand map policy. How can I sell them, please? So, quick question: if you can't drop the price, I'm assuming the buy box is below your price at the moment. So, I'm assuming if you look at the keeper chart, the map policy price, let's call it $15, for example, and the buy box is $12 now. I'm assuming maybe when you did the selling, it was always 15 and now it's gone down to 12. I would speak to the wholesaler and talk about, why is this product gone down? Can they do something about it? Can they speak to that seller who's on there at the $12 and get them removed because they're not following? They speak to the brand, they're not following map pricing. But I'm assuming it has been the price that you're trying to sell at. If not, you're sat there with a lot of stock. I hate to say it, you might just want to go, And I'm not saying this is what you should do, but for me, I'd be like, well, look, you know what, I've got 5,000 units of stock. I'm never going to sell them. I might have a conversation with the manufacturer or the brand and say, hey, look, I appreciate you got map selling. This product isn't selling right now, and I am a business, and I'm not here to just hold the stock for free. So what I want to do is I want to drop the price to meet the market. I'm not going to go any lower, but I will meet the market, and I'm going to clear the stock out. But please don't take this as I'm not abiding by map, or I'm purposely willingly going against it. No, this is not that. This is the fact that I'm a business, and we need to reclaim the money that we've invested in your products. And your map policy pricing right now is causing us not able to achieve that. So we are going to reduce it down. We're going to sell it through, but also we're not going to restock this product because that's not going to be viable for us. So thank you. But I appreciate I appreciate it might mean that we might not be able to do business again in the future, but I just wanted to be upfront and honest. So that's what I would say. Again, I don't know the exact products, but I'd be honest with the brand and saying that, hey, I'm probably going to have to break map pricing. Like, I'm super sorry about that. So, because at the end of the day, you need to survive. My God, you invested money. You're going to get bankrupt. You're not just a warehouse. You're a trade. You're selling. So hopefully that helps make sense. Have an honest conversation with the brand. That's what I say. Right, next one. Oh, my first live stream this time. Woohoo! Thank you for joining. Hopefully it's been informative. Let me know in the comments down below, has it been an informative live stream? But also hit the like button if you like it. So Doug has said, makes sense. I think I was just concerned about Amazon processing my incoming shipments in time for them to sell. With FBM, I can make the stock available quickly. Agreed, you can definitely make the stock available quickly. But it doesn't mean you can sell it for the right price, but also as well, there's other bits to it. So try it, definitely. I would say try it. Do like a couple of products, a couple of SKUs, like a couple, and if they sell, fantastic. Just learn, like, my God, you have to do it. You have to try this. For me, I can't. I'm in a different country, but I do think there's a great opportunity. So do that. Yeah, try it. What do you got here? So IL, what do you do with the high cost customer damage returns in the USA? Do you write them off or sell them that eBay has used? I asked about the USA because I know you're not based there. Headache to deal with. There are services in the USA you can ship to, return, and they'll do inspections, or they'll try and resell on third-party markets, and they'll take like 50% of the revenue. So you are going to lose. You're losing money. Or, when you look at these kind of like high-cost customer damage returns, they're just, except that you're not going to make any profit on them at all. You're now just thinking about, can I get like 50p on the dollar back? That'd be great. Or 50 cents on the dollar back. It's about minimizing the losses as opposed to making any money off them. 9 times out of like half the time you're going to have to write it off. But do look at those services. I don't know. There'll be like Amazon return services you can ship your returns back to. But long story short, if you're doing like high value, and the couple of ones that people might be talking about are like high value consumer electronics, maybe like trainers, maybe even like swimming pools if you're doing a lot of them in the summer period. Sometimes you just have to take the hit, right? It's the very nature of it, because it's a lot of cash. But my God, you were making a lot of cash when you're selling them, but also now they're a lot of cash when you return them. You're like, oh, that's $300. I want that back. Sometimes you just got to take it on the chin. So yeah, I hope we don't have a service yet. Our warehouse does do something with them, but I don't really know the exact answer. But there are services out there that you can use. But I will have a look. I'm going to add that to my list. Returns service. If you know of any in the US, do drop it down below. USA. That's a great question. Really, really good question. Cool. Harbinder has come back. To be honest, I've not experienced anything different than usual because of shortages of lorry drivers. Anything prices have dropped on Amazon. Yeah, agreed. We've seen it in our ROI. Our ROI has dropped 3% over the last 2 months, I think it is. Increased competition, I'm guessing. Probably everyone watching my live streams saying, crash the price, crash the price. No, I don't say that at all. I don't think it should crash the price. We do crashing prices. Only when we're trying to clear stock down. I'm not saying we crash it, we just kind of underprice a bit. So yeah, I've not seen anything really. And like, it's been very interesting how sales have come through. So yeah, that's my thoughts. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, thank you. Like the lorry driver issue in the UK hasn't had a really big issue. We're not seeing it. So HGV drivers. So Jake said, any advice on how to start to go on Amazon seller in Canada? What are things into how much capital needed? I've never done it in Canada. Great question, Jake. Thanks for asking, by the way. I've never done it in Canada. We've done it in the US. Top tip for you, I'd probably recommend just go on like 2 or 3 Canadian Facebook groups. That's always a start. Ask the question. Number 2 is understand your tax laws around you doing it under your personal name, like Tom Parkinson, business under my name, or creating an LLC. Now, I'm not an accountant. You can create an LLC. You can do that process. It's more cost, it's more time consuming, and it will slow down the process. And you might just want to say, hey, look, I just want to build it myself first, get it going. And then I don't know in the US if you can transfer to an LLC. In the UK, you can trade under yourself and then transfer to a limited company, same as an LLC, but in the UK. You can do that. Amazon will let the account transfer over. So I've just asked that question. If you can, you might just want to trade it under your own name to start with for like a couple of months, maybe a year, just to see how you get on. Because if you form a company, start selling, and then realize it's not what you want, then you've got the whole hassle of shutting the company down, and that's a pain, and that's going to be expensive. So I checked that out. That's just formation. Then obviously just create the Amazon Seller Central account, do your research. If you're doing like online arbitrage, just saying what I do, I say this to everyone, and no one ever listens, but I'll say it anyway, is go and source, look at sourcing videos that I've created, go and find like 10, 20 different products yourself, and I know you've worked super hard for them, but share them with people, put them on groups, share them to other people, good sellers, ask them if they like them, and if the sellers you're sharing them with are like, wow, that's amazing, do you have any more, then you know you're onto something good. But if people are like, yeah, it's not very good, I don't really like that one, or this is a problem, then you know you're doing something wrong. Why do I say that? Because if you can get it right before you even spend a penny, then you know you're going to, when you spend a penny, you're going to get it right, because you're investing money in deals which the experts are saying are good deals. But trust me, it's so easy in this game when you first start going, wow, I found a great deal, and actually you haven't, because something you missed. But unless you know, you don't. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. And that's the problem about the thing. Getting started, you could do it for like $1,000, I reckon. I probably think like 2 to 5 would be a good start, and that could be credit card. But again, my first step would always be buy one product, ship it into Amazon, get it sold. Doesn't matter the price. Forget making profit. Doesn't matter, and just get the money back in the bank account. All you're looking to do is to prove the model and the way it works. Once you understand that I ship it in, I sell it, and I get the money back, and it works. Wow, it's amazing. That's really going to be really helpful. And then the final one, just be mindful of, do a lot of research around like IP, intellectual property, brands to avoid. We have like an IP checker on the Fast Track APA's website. Check that out. That will really help you as well. That would protect your accounts. So that's something useful. But I hope that helps and that makes sense. There's lots of great starting videos. Jake, let me know in the comments down below if that was helpful. So IL. Thanks for the advice. Do those Amazon return services company buy at 50% of the value, or put up on eBay and pay out 50% once they sell? Generally, they will, I think, you need to check them, they will give you 50% of the cash that they sell it for back. So you're losing money. Or it might even be like 50% of the profits. So like if you're selling for like $10 on eBay, and after eBay fees, etc., you're making like $4 profit, they might give you 50% of that back, if that makes sense. I don't really know. You need to check. Like, put it this way, you're not making money. Like, the answer is you're not making money back on this. This is about minimizing your losses as opposed to making money. So I hope that makes sense. Check them out. Just type in eBay return service or like Amazon return services, or customer return services. They will deal with that for you, and that will help out. So Loving It said, hey, with the toy restrictions happening, how many units of a toy would you buy at a time? There's no really toy restrictions. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think we've got like 6 compliance requests, and if you don't know about the compliance requests, everyone on the listing gets the compliance request, and if one person on the listing does the compliance, everyone else doesn't have to do it. It's like Amazon updating its inventory of products. So we've got like 650 odd products, I think, don't quote me, on sale. They're not all toys at all, but we've only got like 8 compliance requests. So still, we're not buying shallow. We're still buying big for what we're doing. We're just managing it, but we might not. If we get a compliance request, we might not restock until we see that compliance request disappears, and then we might restock. So that's something to think about. But yeah, not limiting. Just make sure you can sell the volume through quickly. That's it. So maybe not buying as many, just getting it in and then hoping the balance request will go. So that's my thoughts. Oh my God, it's getting sunny out there. I can see that. Look at that. It's going white. That was black when we first started. Okay, cool. Is there Cameron? I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry. So what are the chances of getting my account deactivated from IP complaints? I just started selling and I'm very terrified of them. Look, long story short, you might be able, if you're just starting, you might be able to get one and you'd be okay. You might be able to get two. It depends what type of IP complaints and how Amazon take them seriously. So long story short, if you want to stop them, do a lot of research about IP complaints. Number two, we do a brand check on Fast Track FBA. It's all the list of the brands that we know that you shouldn't be selling because of this exact reason. And then, just make sure you're really aware and don't chance it. If it's like, oh, maybe it's okay, don't do it. Don't do it at all. Like, always look for other sellers on listings. You should generally be fine. We're not talking about one or two. We're talking like five. 5 other sellers, you're happy. And then the third thing I'd really recommend, sell like there's no tomorrow. As in, like, get your volume up. The reason is you can have more IP complaints if your account is doing more volume. But if you're selling like 1 or 2 items a month and you've got one IP complaint, well, IP complaints are the percentage of your sales. And I don't know how it works out, but we see this. Wow, you've got a really high number of IP complaints for your sales volume. But if you're doing lots and lots of volume, then it's like, well, you've got like 6 and it's okay. Like, it's not, they're going to be okay. So you can have a lot if you're doing enough volume. So get your sales volume up. And that's going to protect you, should we say, or not protect you, just give you a bit more of a buffer. And then also the other one is every time you get an IP complaint, fight it like there's no tomorrow, and preferably use professional help. We pay for the service, about $100 a month to help us with it, just to really try and keep them down, because they last 180 days before they drop off, and you want none. You want the minimum as possible. So we redo that. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments down below if that's helpful. Harminder says, thanks, Thomas. Really enjoy your live streams. Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you. If you're ever in the Midlands, I'd love to buy a beer or coffee. Bouncing off thing. I'm back in the UK, by the way, for 1 month. December, I'll be back. I fly back in on like the first, second, third. I fly on the 3rd. Just booked it this weekend, so super happy. But yeah, I would probably. Maybe I'll let you know. I'll do my kind of like travel times on the UK Facebook group, but I'm just going to be super busy. I've got to try and do like 20 meetings in 18 days. It's going to be busy, so we shall see. But that's in December. So thank you, appreciate it, and obviously buy me coffee. Yeah, I should do a what do you call it? One of those like buy me coffee things. No, it's fine. So IL has mentioned. Have many of your friends and family who have heard about your success also started saying on Amazon after being inspired by your success? Ironically, no. I've had probably like, I say success. My God, do I think I'm successful? I think I have an element of success, yeah. But there's a lot more successful people than me. I met Todd, actually, entrepreneur, last week in Florida. He's on his way to do 4 million. This year. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Met guys doing like 20 million. I think someone doing like 30 million. An event last week, really, really good. So, and I heard of people doing, let's call it 9 figures. I won't go into it. But, they were met. So really, really, am I successful? Maybe to a certain extent, but there's a lot more successful people than me. But interesting enough, people who ask me, hey, Tom, I see what you're doing, how do I get started? My first answer is, number 1, don't do it. Number 2, if you are wanting to do it, don't do it. It's super hard, it's super risky, and you're probably going to fail because statistically most people do. Then number 2, if you do, watch this video. So I shared a link to the video. Long story short is like building a business is hard, like so hard, and it's so many long hours and everything. And I was talking to my coach last night, and I was like, I won't lie, like I've been doing Amazon for 4 years. And I was like, I've just managed to get my evenings back, and by evenings, I still work 2 evenings a week. So I work every morning and apart from Sunday and Monday evening, I'll work every morning and Sunday and Monday evening, and I'll work during the day as well. And I do talk about like a 4-hour week, but I'm doing stuff like growing businesses, Fast Track FBA. And I've been quite protective over that time. And I think it's super, and I think people just don't understand that. People don't understand that you have to work so hard. And if you want to come into this and just do a 40-hour, 9 to 5 building your Amazon business, yeah, but you've got to do so much more. You've probably got to do 40 hours on your business, and then you've got to do another 20 hours learning on top of that, and then networking and doing stuff. It's hard. It's super, super hard. So generally I say don't do it. It's really hard. And the reason is if they just listen to me saying don't do it, and they're like, oh, okay, I won't do it then it means they were never right in the first place. But if I say don't do it, and then they keep coming back like, no, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we can start talking, because you're fighting that. You're not willing to give up. That's it. And I think I always and I say to people, most people don't get paid for 12 months. 12 months from their Amazon business. Like, are you willing to work for 12 months for free? Like, most people are like, no. So that's what I say. But hopefully, I have inspired some people. But interesting enough, none of my friends and family. Like, really, really interesting. But I think that's very common. But hey, good question. Thank you very much. Jake, do you have an update with the admin VA candidate? No, we don't, unfortunately. Still working on it. We're still interested. We're still putting the content together. We lost we had like 2 admin VAs. They both left, unfortunately. We've got 3. The third one started and then left, and then started another third one, started and left, and then we got a new third one starting and left now. So it has caused a delay. The content being put together, but I do think it's just about people, and unfortunately we've been unable it's just taking time, so that has caused a delay. But I will talk a lot more about it. We'll know, you'll hear a lot more from me the moment we kind of got everything in the right place. We know the content, we know what's happening. It's now recording it all, we're putting that together. It just takes time. So please, Joe, bear with me, Jake. We will get something going, and obviously really help you. But again, it's got to be right, add value. I hope you can see that. So thank you for asking. Guys, if you've got questions, let me know in the comments down below. I've got about 3 minutes, and I'll do any final questions and wrap up. So, thanks a lot. What do you think the scope of online retail arbitrage in the future? It will never stop. It will never stop. All we're doing is we are, they call it in financial trade, money makers, I think they're called. People who just put liquidity in, moving it from one place to another. That's what we do. We just profit by moving stuff around. Big wholesalers, retailers won't do this because it's just not worth it on the small volume. But for us as individuals, we'll buy like 5 here and 10 there. That works fine. And you're always going to have that, even with computer systems. It works in the markets because computers can buy and sell automatically and create liquidity in the trading market. So you can automate it. But computers buying 5 units from our Argos and selling them, no. AI will improve, but I don't think AI will ever really. I don't think it will focus on that too soon. Do I still think you'll be able to do this in 20 years' time? Yeah. And do I think you can make good money in the next 20 years and have to retire off? Hell yeah. My God, look at what we're doing now. We've been doing it for 4 years, and I'm in 5 years' time, it'll be insane. So I think that's going to be crazy. So for you, long story short, I have no worries about the future of online arbitrage. I have no worries about the future of online arbitrage on Amazon, but also though if Amazon were to go, you can still have Walmart, eBay, etc. And there'll be another competitor to Amazon, so don't worry about it. OnBuy, for example. There's loads of these. So there'll always be that future. Do not worry. Jake, how to increase in-stock rate? Thank you, Jake. I think there's an option. Go into the SKU. You can turn off it won't be a replenish. You can turn that off. Long story short, don't worry. Just focus on the other 3. The in-stock rate is always the one that we have. I think is always in red, but we're on 650 IPI score. Long story short, get it above 500. Leave it at that. Stop focusing on it. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. There is no benefit to have your IPI versus 800 versus 501. Apart from having a bit of a buffer, 550 versus 800, there really isn't. There really is not. Don't focus on IPI when you're above, they call it 550. It's just not worth your time. Focus on other stuff, but just keep maintaining it. That's it. It's maintaining that level, not getting to 1,000. It doesn't help you, and if anything, it's a waste of time. So do not worry. Just focus on the other 3. That's what I'd say. And delete old SKUs. Delete old SKUs. The moment they sold out, delete them. Don't worry about oh my God, there's something happening. If someone returns an item, it just goes into stranded inventory. Super simple. Doesn't matter. Amazon deal with it that way. If you delete it, you can literally go to a SKU right now. It's got stock in, delete it, and it will just go straight into stranded inventory the next day. Oh, okay, cool. So don't worry. Do you know how much Amazon sales have to be? Do you know how much Amazon sales I have to do to be accepted into Walmart? No, I don't, unfortunately. I really don't. I think it's also as well to do like how obviously like OA is really, you couldn't really do it on wholesale because they're a lot stricter at doing it. I'd probably look at Facebook Walmart groups. I do know sellers who are selling on Walmart, and it does work quite well. But yeah, I don't. I'm really sorry about that. It's not my speciality. Maybe next year we'll get into it, but I'm really just an Amazon person. So it's certainly an opportunity. But you can do it on Walmart, definitely. But I think, do your Amazon sales and go from there. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to pretty much wrap it up. It's been a full hour, guys. I just want to, everyone, guys and girls, from all over the world, thank you so much for joining. Lots and lots of questions today. Really, really good, and it's been a real pleasure. So, for you guys, obviously keep smashing it in Q4. There are always going to be problems in our business. I'll never deny that. There's always going to be someone who says something which is going to affect us. My God, change is just a fact of life. And I think for you guys is we're just got to keep moving forward. It doesn't, don't worry about it. Like, there's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be people who are saying there's a problem. Don't worry about it. My God, there are people who are making money on this business, so it can be done. So keep pushing forward. There's always going to be a reason why you can't. Don't worry. Our job is to find the solution, not sit there and worry about the problem. And as a result, when we find the solution, we make sales, we make money, and we profit from us. So our business is growing. Hey, I hope that's been helpful. From me, Thomas Parkinson, Fast Track FBA, to you guys, thank you so much for joining. Hey, have a great week. I'll catch up with you same time next week. Take care. Bye-bye.